Happy Wednesday! I was about ready to start making dinner, so I thought I would chat with you guys about the one thing that I think keeps you guys from banging out meals a little bit faster like you should, and that is knife skills. Because every time I go to people's houses, I see them using little knives like this to chop up their vegetables, and I just want to stop them and shake them and show them how to use their big womanly knives like this. They're ninja knives. This is on the top of my mind because I just had to sharpen my knives because they were getting so dull. I think you're actually supposed to do that a lot more often than I do, but I do it almost never. So let's actually chat a little bit about sharpening and the types of knives, and then we'll talk about different cuts, and we will talk about whatever else you guys want to talk about with knives, and hopefully I won't chop off my fingers during this little demo if I'm talking too much. Okay, so these of course are paring knives. They are not meant to chop veggies like this. They have a small surface area and they just don't work. This is a standard chef's knife. This is my very favorite knife. It's from Victorinox. It's a Swiss something Victorinox. It's America's Test Kitchen's #1 pick, and it's really inexpensive. It's like under 30 bucks, which for a knife is pretty darn cheap. So if you guys want, I'll post it below the video after this. This is my very favorite knife. It has awesome grip strength. It's amazing, very sharp. For my wedding, I got a very similar chef's knife, just like this. So I used this up until about a year ago. And then this is a type of like veggie knife from that originated in Japan. I think it's called a nikiri or something. This one's from the Pioneer Woman, and I was just testing out. It's also a very nice knife, so we'll kind of demo both of those. So that's really it for the types of knives that I try to use in the kitchen. When you're going to sharpen a knife, this is called a sharpening rod thing. So you keep your fingers behind the guard, and you know, I rarely do this, but we will try it anyway. You just make sure it's held away from you, and you keep your fingers behind the guard, and you press down really carefully like this. So, and then I just rinse it off, and you can tell it's a lot sharper, and I'm very excited to have sharp knives today. Okay, so there's a few different cuts that I think will help, and my tripod is kind of wonky because it broke about 10 minutes before this, so I apologize if it doesn't agree with us, so we'll try. Okay, so first let's talk about a Julienne cut. This is a red pepper, or this is an orange pepper, of course. And the way you want to go about cutting a bell pepper is you just turn it upside down. Anytime you're cutting a veggie, you want to make sure it's as stable as possible. So when it's kind of like this, or it's round, it's not going to be stable, but you go ahead and cut off one side and then put it on that flat side to continue. So with a bell pepper, the best way to do it is, first of all, you want to make sure your knife, you're holding that really steady, and then your bell pepper you're holding steady, and then you want to make sure basically that you're doing this thing. So you're only exposing your fingernails to the knife. So you go through the middle like this, peel it open, and it kind of just takes care of the inside for you. That's like the nicest way to cut a bell pepper. And this is called cutting Julienne. So you just cut like long, thin strips, okay? So the thing with this knife is that you should be able to rock it back and forth. And this wasn't a very good example because my cutting board is going crazy. So I'm gonna grab a towel real quick and wet it and put it under my cutting board because that'll make it even. I actually ruined this one leaving it on a hot stove, so it's a little warpy. So just 1 second here. We will put on a little thing to keep it steady. So that's just a little tip. If your cutting board won't stay still, you can put a wet cloth under it, and then it's a lot more stable. Okay, so moving on, let's go with like a fine dice, okay, or just a regular dice. So onions all rocking, and then you put it on the flat side. Actually, I'm gonna cut both ends first. You cut off the flat, you cut it off so it's got some surface area, and then you just go down the middle, peel off its sides. This is the one that everyone's really familiar with, so it's probably the easiest. I'm gonna, for the sake of time, I'm gonna skip that. So again, hold it steady, make sure it's really stable, and just expose your fingernails, okay? Because if anything is gonna get cut, it's a lot better if your fingernails are kind of up against that onion than me doing this and potentially cutting my fingers off. I was really hoping no one was gonna get to watch me cut my fingers off today. Okay, so next one I want to show you is, these are carrots, and something called for a lot in carrot recipes is to cut on a bias. And the reason that you cut on a bias is because all the coins end up being about the same size and they cook evenly. So you can go ahead and you cut diagonally. I'll just do one at a time. You cut diagonally, and then you continue to cut diagonally. And you can see that these carrots are really uniform, but most carrots are obviously tapered down the end. And so if you cut them more at a bias, you'll end up with much more uniform pieces, okay? So this is me and my chef's knife, my very favorite chef's knife. I'm gonna switch over to this Nakiri knife from Pioneer Woman that I don't love as much, just because it doesn't have that rubbery, grippy handle. So that's why this Victorinox is my favorite knife. And then let's talk about chiffonade. You know what chiffonade is? Chiffonade is something that is called for in basil recipes all the time. So this was the only basil I could find that I haven't killed yet in the plants that I bought, because I'm not very good at keeping things alive. Much better at just eating them. So I took what I could. You go ahead and you take the leaves and you just roll them up like this. And then you just rock back and forth. And then this is a chiffonade, a basil. Okay, so that's what that means when you do a chiffonade. Okay, now let's have some fun. This is where you get to kind of show off. So the thing about knives, so this is why paring knives are not that awesome. This is what I see people doing all the time. I don't know, it's just, this is not what a paring knife is supposed to do. So the action with this knife is just to you put the top of the blade on the cutting board and then you just rock back and forth. So you can really like quickly cut through a whole bunch of stuff, and it is kind of awesome. So I don't really know if the chef knife versus this Nakiri knife, if there's really one that's a little bit better. They're just a little bit different. Like if I try to, this one's more you hold down to the tip and do this kind of thing. So it might be really good for like a fine dice of like some like parsley or something. I mean, this is kale, but I really like how you can just rock the front and down to the back. So I think if you were picking one knife, I would pick this chef's knife. So you can kind of see how it's rocking back and forth. So guard your fingers, set them up like this, put your nails against where the knife is coming down. Make sure that the veggies are really stable. Make sure that you have a really good grip on your knife, that your hands aren't wet. What else? So this is standard chef's knife, my favorite, by America's Test Kitchen. And a Nakiri knife, which is like a Japanese type knife, and then your paring knives. We also talked about how to sharpen those. I think that's it. And I didn't cut my fingers off, so I think we're doing really well. We talked about a bias cut, a fine dice. What else? Does anyone want to talk about anything else? There's two of you, so we could chat about what you guys are having for dinner. Anything? I'm making sushi rolls for the second time in my life. The first time I was in college and they weren't delicious at all. So tonight I am using some salmon and trying something different. So I will be cutting a lot of julienne things to stick in there. And that is a very unusual dinner for me. But typically my evening does start like this. I am chopping veggies, and I think that a lot of people, they're afraid to cut up. I was looking up some stats right before this, and like across the world, people spend about 2 hours cooking dinner, and in the US we spend about 30 minutes. So I know we don't do a lot of prep, but that's because we don't know how to do it really fast. So I just wanted to show you how to chop veggies super fast. So was that helpful? Good deal, Becky. I'm glad you're stopping by for dinner. So I just thought this would be fun to try this this live broadcast. Carrie, I'm sorry you missed. I didn't chop off any fingers, so that is really good news, but I was showing off my very favorite chef's knife from Victorinox that's really inexpensive, and I was showing some simple cuts, but you can go back to the replay. We talked about dicing and not cutting your fingers off by creating a guard, and we talked about sharpening and stuff. So anyway, hope that was helpful. Talk to you guys later. Bye.